and BD2.
Yeah, it's one of the lines.
Yeah. G7, E4, takes, and C5. Maybe not the most common because maybe black castles first.
No, c5 is also one of the main moves. Castles
Plus,
was played in this match of Anand against Carlsen, where I think it was Queen d2, Knight c6, d5, Knight e5, and so on.
yeah,
But c5 is simply very
C5.
typical Grunfeld move. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, D5, Bishop C3, BC3, castles, and whenever I see some position like this where the bishop is missing, I feel like can white just start an attack like this, but here it seems like the center is too weak.
Yeah, yeah. If it's stable, you can go for it. But yeah,
H4
after Queen d2, you're kind of preparing such ideas.
Mm,
I had once played e6, I think, in this position.
yeah.
That's also another line. But Queen d6 also has its merits. And it was played, in fact, by Nepo.
So what's the idea of Queen D6?
So Black wants to play knight d7.
Mm.
Now, if it was his move, and the queen is much better placed on d6 than on d8, and let's say if you play knight f3, there are ideas of bishop g4, and you keep this bishop open
Mm.
by playing queen d6.
So just like yesterday, Bishop E2 move,
Yeah, subtle.
something similar, yeah. Queen D6, a little keeping your options open when to go Knight D7, when to go Bishop G4.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm not. I'm sure that Giri was not surprised because it has been played
Yeah.
also by Nepo, who is playing in this tournament. So he might have had a look at it.
Mm. F4,
E6,
Bishop
bishop c4,
C4.
and I
And
like.
this is here, this would be just bad, C4. I mean, if you take and rook E8, something like this would come.
Yeah, I think e5, rook e5, right?
CD, rook e8, e5 is met with rook e5, takes, and then you pick up the rook on a1.
Yeah.
So bishop c4 and b5.
Um, it's a good move. I think Nepo also played the same stuff.
Okay.
He- because you don't want white to stabilize. You don't have the bishop on g7, right? So if you get like bishop on d5, ed bishop d5, and then now first of all bishop f7 is threatened. Then there's knight f3, knight g5. It's very nasty. So black has to solve the problems by being very precise, because the only problem white is that he's lacking in development.
Hmm.
So before white develops, you have to kind of capitalize, and the center is still fragile. So you kind of attack
Yeah.
it indirectly. b5. I think it's good move.
Take ed, and if he takes ed here,
Then you lose the center, and I think you can play
bishop
even bishop d7 even.
bishop d7. Yeah. So that after take, you have rook e8 coming up, and also knight b6.
Yeah, sooner or later you will get the d5 pawn back with interest.
Yeah. So bishop
So bishop
c4.
c4 makes sense. Now the entire struggle is to, if white can somehow create any problems around this d5 pawn. Bishop b7, knight f3. I was a bit surprised by knight d7, but maybe it was still preparation, because rook 8 looks more normal, right?
Yeah.
You threaten to take on c4, and this was the game Nepo. No, rook d8. Sorry,
Rook d8.
you threaten to take on c4, and I assume Anish's idea was to take everything on d5. Let's say bishop d5, yeah, whatever, yeah, ed, take everything, and play rook d1, exchange rooks. And to play on the small edge where the c5 pawn is kind of vulnerable, you can go king c2, rook d1, knight d2,
Yeah.
some small edge, yeah. If you play rook e8, there is rook e1 and still some pressure.
Yeah, it can go downhill very quickly because the king is very active.
Exactly. So knight d7 avoids that because you have rook e8 check all the time now.
Yeah.
Um, so what he played makes sense. Knight b6, bishop e2, and now white's plan is to play e5, and then he will have the majority on the king side, and then he can go f5, queen h6, f6, all kinds of stuff. So black still hasn't completely solved his problems. That's why the next move makes sense. Let's say if black played something normal, rook d8,
Yeah.
you have e5,
Yeah.
queen e7, f5, and it's all of a sudden not so easy. Your queen is coming to h6. So black still has to solve the problems concretely.
So d4, but how does this solve? Because maybe it just
Now
opens.
you know like why all the top players hate playing with black, because you have to play so many precise moves in order to equalize.
Yeah.
There's always some pressure.
So d4. If I take cd, I think he was
Bishop
preferring
e4.
bishop e4. Yes.
Yeah. You have to play e5.
So e5 is a must. Now
Yeah,
queen
and now
d7.
queen d7. Yeah, queen d7 looks more normal, but queen d7 is, I think, good. It's a small tactic actually. After queen e7, what would you play?
Okay, so my test here. Yeah. Can I was thinking cd was one move, but if I go f5, I just like to attack uh, normally, because bishop f3, queen e5, a8 is hanging.
So initially you suggested CD. What's wrong with CD?
Yeah, cd I just thought is uh, possible.
If I play rook d8,
Yeah, rook
because if
a8.
otherwise I just lose the pawn. Rook a d8. Yeah.
Yeah, rook a d8, and now I am losing d4. I mean, it's white. What can I do? I really want to play f5 ideas here as well.
F5. There's bishop f3. No.
Yeah, bishop f3, and now rook f3.
It feels nice to be on the other side of some puzzle session with you.
Yeah, rook d4 maybe.
Rook d4 or queen e5. Why not queen e5 instead of rook d4?
Take on d5. Queen on d2 is hanging. Okay, so cd, rook a d8, and now white should play something good here.
Yeah.
Queen a5
I feel,
maybe.
I feel bad to trouble you.
No, not at all. For me, it's interesting. I mean, I was just trying to attack.
Queen a5, bishop f3.
But I don't even see very good moves, because the threat is to play bishop f3 and cd4, right? So
Yes.
if how can I stop it? Like d5 maybe. Then I keep that weak. No, it doesn't make any difference.
The key, I would say, is an intermediate move. And intermediate moves usually are the toughest to see in combinations.
Yeah. I mean, e6 or something doesn't look likely to work.
No, don't get desperate.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not usually the first move which is wrong. It's later on.
So what we were looking at, f5 maybe,
Yeah.
bishop f3. And now I can go f6, but then you have queen e5. Um, and then if I play queen h6, queen f6 looks already bad. So f5, bishop f3, here maybe there is better move. Queen h6.
Right. That's the way. Does it feel good to find it?
But you gave me a lot of hints, so I
No,
was
but my entire point to show this was, you know, when you're playing the game, you have to look through all this and then make a decision of playing queen d7. But when you just look at the game, you feel, oh, it's no big difference. Queen d7 stops f5, queen e7 is no big deal. But when you try to see it and try to solve it yourself, you understand there is so much happening. And the precision required to make a draw. You have to play d4, you have to play queen d7, and stuff like this.
Correct.
So my entire point was to show the level of subtleties you have to see.
Right.
But you can show it to the viewers, by the way, the line you were thinking.
You mean queen e7, cd,
Yes.
rook a d8, f5, bishop f3, queen h6. Now I'm threatening f6, so I don't know what he would play.
The point is, like, if you play f6 in this position, there is queen e5.
Yeah, that one. Yes.
So that's why, and if you play bishop f3, there's still queen e5. So you play queen h6 first, and now the f6 threat is really annoying.
Yeah, 11 more days of training with you and I can make a comeback to chess.
Achieve the final grandmaster norm.
Yeah, I'll give you the credit for that.
So after queen d7, it was kind of forced. What happened? cd, rook d8. Now you don't have f5. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah, because the queen controls. Rook d1,
bishop f3, rook f3, queen d4, takes. I mean, I assume that it was still possible for white to press a little, although black is pretty close to equalizing. But I understand Anish's mindset. He didn't have two good games, and he didn't really feel like pushing here.
Yeah, and they agreed to a draw. I think overall Anish will have to get one win in to get his confidence, or start threatening to win the title. Otherwise, draws like these, if they keep happening a lot, he may not have a chance to win. Fight for the top spot.
For sure. I have nothing to add to that. Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So the final game. This one was between Grischuk and Wang Hao.
Every day we discuss Grischuk's game. The major thing is the time pressure. I don't understand his time management. He's playing so well. He's playing really well in this tournament, if you just look at the games. But he's messing it up in time pressure. And I kind of feel bad. Sometimes he finds really deep ideas, and it's
but I
just
think
a pity.
This is what, like yesterday he said he was sleeping in the game for 1 hour. I don't know what he was saying. And then he said, I woke up and I saw I had 6 minutes, and then as we discussed, he didn't go for this knight e7, which was more ambitious. He played knight d8. So definitely, I mean, if he manages his time better.
Grishuk's press conferences are epic. Thug life videos.
Yeah. So it was the Petrov.
Yeah. Now it's you can get the same position in exchange French.
Okay. So it's an exchange French now after e4 e6.
So it was another French in a way. Knight f3, knight f6. But for Grischuk, you're 2 moves closer to time control. So it's an advantage to go from this mode.
Yeah. Bishop d6. When someone plays like this, they are still fighting for an advantage. Yeah. Because
definitely. This line actually looks harmless, but it's not. And it was played by Magnus a couple of times.
What if I repeat?
Play queen e7. Yeah. queen e7, you take back. And if you play bishop e7, there is like bishop f4, and it looks symmetrical, but you have some problems. Then there's rook e1 next move, and it's not so easy for black to play.
Reminds me of your game with Ali Reza, symmetrical positions,
Uh,
exchange law. Uh,
and if you take with the king, I think again you have castles, and now rook e1 ideas. So it's not so simple. It looks like okay, it should be just draw. That's what my initial impression was, but when I checked it, I realized that only if chess was so simple.
yeah, yeah. So bishop e6.
Knight g5. Yeah, now black makes a concession that you give up the bishop pair, but you have the center one mass. c3 and c5 was a novelty, which I think he played instantly. Not instantly, I think he thought for a few minutes, but Grischuk replied instantly with knight d2.
So Grischuk is going to f3 to control the main
Yes.
square.
The main idea in this position is instead of c5 to play e5.
With knight c6?
Yeah, I mean, in general to not play c5, but to directly go for the e5 break. No, but then knight c6
you mean
f4.
you mean directly? Okay.
Yeah, to play e5.
So you mean knight c6, f4, and e5 stopped. So e5 was the main move, but
I think so.
Looks-
or castles and then
looks
e5.
good actually. Take. I mean, for black it looks good. No?
Yeah, in the game he did the same, but with the inclusion of c5. But then it gives an option to kind of play dc at some point. Anyways, so till here it's kind of normal. CD, e5. And now how long would you think for DE?
I don't see. I mean, e4 I don't want to allow as such. So I maybe 1 minute or 2
I mean,
minutes.
I would say that DE is he
30
thought for
seconds.
5 minutes. Probably he was not there at the board. Probably it could happen. But then 95 and next move he thought for. I don't know why he thought for so long in this position.
How much?
He thought 36 minutes.
30. I think there's a trend in this opening to in this tournament to at least one game should be there which there's a thought of more than 30 minutes.
And the stranger thing is after Queen e5, he thought for I think 14 minutes to take on e5.
Oh, there's no.
But it may no
Okay.
this move g3,
G3.
and it's even better actually to play g3. But still, what I'm surprised is by his time management.
Yeah.
Bishop e5. Now he played a good move actually, f3. Looks kind of anti-positional, but the point is like white wants to play rook d1, but it's always met with knight g4. So it's a prophylactic move, f3. Now you can play rook d1 and bring the king back. But in g3, let's say you play rook a e8, yeah, very normal.
Yeah.
You take back, king g2, and you can play f3. So king is better placed in this position. It's a small difference. But yeah, f3. Okay, the next few moves are quite normal, where black developed and white also kind of untangled his pieces. The black has no chance. He has a weak pawn on d5. White has two bishops, so it's all about if white can put some pressure and if black can contain it.
Yeah.
But such positions are actually the toughest to play because there's no immediate way to equalize, no forced line to just think and okay, just equalize the game. Always after every move you have to solve small problems, and at that level, such kind of positions are really annoying.
Correct.
And if you see the game, Bishop did manage to put a lot of pressure. So g6, bishop d2. Yeah, I don't know where to criticize Wang Hao. Just the type of position is not so simple.
It's like what Anish got into against Wang Hao yesterday.
Yes,
Is what
himself.
Wang Hao got against Grischuk. h4, rook e6, take, king f2.
Black's play can definitely be improved,
Hmm.
but the critical moment was what he, it's not like Wang Hao made a big mistake here. Already the position is really difficult.
Hmm. Because firstly, the bishop is superior to the knight, and you have this nice majority which you are
Yes,
expanding.
let's say if the pawn was on f7, white would still be better, but not so much.
Yes.
Or if the pawn was on e6, let's say. But this pawn on d5 is really weak, and white has these ideas of h5, g5. So they already black has two weaknesses if you look at it. That's why it makes it tough.
Yeah. So
Yes.
black has two weaknesses. One is here, and the other is here. Yes.
If you remember yesterday when we talked about Anish game, Wang
Yes.
Hao against
Yes.
Anish,
Yes.
the key thing was to create two weaknesses to convert the advantage. Again, we see the same thing. So
Yeah.
probably if you want to improve the end game, it helps to analyze that stuff. So we find the key or similar patterns.
So usually creating two weaknesses would be the way to go.
One of the ways.
Yeah, one of the ways. H5 and now GH is met with G5 and then
Yes.
H7 is hanging. So he played King
After King
F7.
F7, what is the best move in this position,
Okay, thank you.
according to you?
One more test for me.
Yes.
I would,
If I give you a clue, you would immediately get it.
okay, fixing like the pawns H6, but
Yes, h6 is the best move. I wanted to say think like Alpha Zero,
really.
but because they always go h4, h5, h6.
Yeah, maybe this becomes weakness, but like for example,
You can always defend it with g5. And
no,
if you
I
play
mean,
g5 yourself, then you give up this bishop f5, like
yeah,
f5 square, and h7 is weak, right?
yeah,
Like this one key idea is like we were discussing on the first day of rook bishop against knight. Let's say you play rook c1, and sorry, not on the first day, yesterday itself.
yeah.
The idea of exchanging two rooks. So here, after this, you play rook c2, and now rook c7 is a threat.
Sorry, when Rook C2?
Sorry, after h6,
Yeah.
rook c1
Mm-hmm. Ah,
takes,
okay.
and now rook c2. When
Sorry,
we are
it's just
discussing the technique for
1 second. Rook instead of rook e8 here instead of a3 h6 rook c1 take and yes rook c2 now.
so you take back, and yesterday when we were discussing the
Yeah.
game of Anish, Wang Hao Anish,
Yeah.
another idea which we discussed was to exchange both the rooks, and then the dominance of bishop against knight shows
Yes.
more efficiently. So again, similar idea.
Mm.
A3 is not so bad because you still keep the position. Rook e8, and now it was important to play bishop b1.
And this put the bishop on a2.
Yes, that's one idea, and the other idea is it's a defensive prophylactic idea, because in the game Grischuk played hg g5, and now
Black
if
to
knight
play and
h5,
draw. Yeah.
yeah, because knight h5 is met with bishop b1, and it's annoying. You have bishop a2 ideas, but Grischuk probably missed Wang Hao's idea,
Nice.
and I'm sure if he had more time, he would not have allowed this. But he had only like 1.5 minutes or something like this.
Yeah. The point is if you take then de and now if you save the bishop e3 is coming so it's equal.
Yeah, I feel so bad that Grischuk messed up another position.
Yeah.
Like I just want to show one more point because the rest of the game is draw. In this position earlier on,
Hmm.
here he had 28 minutes,
Hmm.
and after bishop d2 he was left with only 8 minutes. 29 minutes and then 8 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
this
like,
is-
I mean, for such a move to take 20 minutes when you're already down on time.
Maybe he was calculating things deeply like he always does, but at the end of the day, this time pressure.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's playing very well, and the only problem for him so far has been the time pressure.
Yeah.
Somehow,
And
if he can somehow adjust it and keep up the consistency, he's of course a very classy player and the top player. So
right.
he can convert these wins.
Amazing. So we had a look at all these games today, and now tomorrow is a rest day. So we'll be taking rest.
It's a rest day. Oh, great, fantastic.
Yeah, after every 3 rounds there is a rest day, and but today what I enjoyed really is solving positions which you had given me. So thanks a lot for that. I feel good about myself.
Great. Enjoy the rest day.
Thanks,
Although
Vidit.
you never rest. Thanks.
See you soon on round number 4.
See you. Bye bye.